Good morning, and you join us today when we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're doing some aerial filming or aerial photography over London. Now we've got some clear blue skies, light wind, it's all looking absolutely fantastic. So join us throughout the day as we take an R44 up to the east end of London to take some photos.
The routing goes from Denham Airfield at the northwest side of London, along the top of the controlled airspace of the Heathrow control zone, just to the south of Elstree Airfield near Watford, and then via the Banbury Reservoir down the Olympic Park route to London City Airport, the east end of London near the Isle of Dogs and the O2 on the Millennium Dome.
Now for this flight, because we're going to be operating very close to a major airport, London City Airport, even though we've timed the flight for a low time in the airport operation, there's actually some extra permissions that we need before we can actually go flying. So we've submitted a non-standard flight request through an online portal, and that has been approved in principle. Before we take off, we've got to call the area controllers of Heathrow and activate what's known as our whiskey number, which activates our special permission to operate where we are and get the shots that we need.
Aerial filming comes under what's known as Part SPO of the EASA regulations. So Specialist Operations, SPO, means any operation other than commercial air transport where the aircraft, or in this case helicopter, is used for specialist activities such as agricultural flying, construction, photography, what we're doing, surveying, observation and patrol, or aerial advertisement or banner towing. For this flight, we have removed the rear door, so the photographer's got a clear shot out of the aircraft without any reflections from the perspex. Before we take off, like any other flight, we've checked the NOTAMs, we've checked the weather, we've compiled a weight and balance report, and we have spoken to, in this particular case, the London controllers to make sure that we are cleared into the zone to do the tasks that we want to do.
Helicopter News Flight 02 lifting HQ and ready for departure, immediate 06.
Left hand advance, the surface wind is calm.
News Flight 02.
02, Heathrow, hello, squawk 7042, London QNH 1032, pass message.
70421032, News Flight 02. R44 just lifted out of Denham. We're going to be operating, doing aerial photography just over the western end of the runway of London City. We have filed an airspace user.
News Flight 2, that's understood. You identified you got a basic service report, your level.
Basic service, so we're 1,100, so just climbing up to 1.5 and we'll run to the south of Elstree, just avoiding controlled airspace.
Understood. And you're looking to join via the Lee Valley?
AFM, so News Flight 02.
News Flight 02, understood. Continuing navigation, Banbury Reservoir. Come back to the entry clearance as you approach the reservoir.
Full occupants, we'll call approaching Banbury, News Flight 02.
News Flight 02, clear to enter the city zone, not above altitude 2,000 feet VFR, routing via Banbury Reservoir and then direct to your location.
Clear to enter the city zone, Banbury direct to location above 2,000. We operate about 1,000 to 1,200 feet.
Understood.
News Flight 02 on task, we'll call complete.
News Flight 2, Roger, thank you.
Today's flight is fairly straightforward because the shots we're taking are just stills. However, when performing aerial photography, it can be some of the most complex and indeed most rewarding flying that you can get up to. You have to position the helicopter in certain ways to ensure that you get the shots that the director or the camera operator is looking for, and this may involve flying slightly out of trim or somewhat counterintuitively for a pilot who usually has to keep the aircraft always in balance and in trim. When performing aerial filming work, you'll notice that just above the console there's a TV monitor, and that allows the pilot to see what is being recorded with either one of the boom mounted or indeed nose mounted cameras on the helicopter. And it's the pilot's job really to fly the camera, understand what the camera operator is seeing through the monitor and how to best position the helicopter to maximize the shots. But of course, the pilot's number one job is still to safely fly the helicopter. So you have to manage airspace, be aware of other users of the airspace, any other traffic, the aircraft limits, its performance, how close you are to your power margins, making sure that you don't end up in vortex ring, for example, or be aware of your tail rotor authority. The pilot also needs to keep a close eye on the fuel to make sure that they don't become too task oriented, that they forget some of the basics of flying. And then finally, operating as a team. Communication is absolutely critical. Be that within the cockpit, the communication between the camera operator and the pilot, explaining what shots are needed, where to position the helicopter and the limitations of that, or indeed between perhaps the director, other air to ground communication, or indeed air-to-air when you're doing an aerial shot between two aircraft and communicating between both pilots so they know who's turning what, when, where, and what altitude and what speed to fly at.
310 vector file, 21, and we will listen to Yankee, have X-ray right now, smash it to 6 o'clock. Let's copy, sir. Confirm aircraft type and begin QNH 1032. 1032, have beach 400, smash it to 6 o'clock. Mike, as you enter in about 2 miles, radar control service. Copied radar control, Mike, runway Mike. Smart Jet 26 Papa, turn left now heading 295. That's heading 295, Smart Jet to 6 Papa.
Heathrow, East Flight 02, we're complete and we'll reach to clear the zone to the north.
East Flight 2, copied complete and roger. Report leaving the zone near the Banbury VRP, please.
Okay, East Flight 02.
Flasher 491 Romeo, descend altitude 6,000 feet, level by Ramsden, begin QNH 1032. Traction 491 Romeo, descending 6,000 feet, QNH 1032, and to be level by Ramsden. Smart Jet 26 Papa, descend altitude 3,000 feet. Turning altitude 3,000 feet, Smart Jet 6 Papa.
Should be alright on the timing for that flight path. East Flight 02, Banbury Reservoir, routing westbound.
East Flight 02, that's copied. Basic service outside and just report changing en route to Denham.
Main outside, report changing en route to Denham. East Flight 02, thank you.
Now that the task is completed, we're heading back towards Denham, along the north edge of the London control zone, heading westbound. Because of the proximity to Elstree Airfield, on the second radio box we are tuning into 122.40 megahertz, and we will ask Elstree for a basic service just to understand if there's any traffic they have that may be operating to the south of their field that may come into conflict with us as we pass by.
Person calling Elstree saying call down please.
It's East Flight 02.
East Flight 02, Elstree information, message.
East Flight 02, Option 44, currently about 2 miles to the south east of the field, transiting back to Denham. To 1,900 feet. Just looking to see if you've got any traffic or any update on the air display. Please, it starts in half an hour.
Flight 02, Elstree, 6 wings 26, right hand, QNH 1033. We currently have one inbound 4 miles and one on the climb out. And we have no other information on the air display or the flight path. Apart from it's happening about 1500 local for about 10 minutes, so plus or minus 5 minutes either side.
All copied, sir, and sounds like it's no factor. I'll report when the frequency from the south.
We have visual.
East Flight 02, well cleared the zone to the southwest and going to Denham now, 130. Yeah.
02 onto Denham, 130730. Thanks for the call, bye bye.
Bye bye. News flight 02, request we can change gentlemen now 12073.
News flight 2, Roger, copy, Squawk 7000, service terminates, bye bye.
Squawk 7000, thank you very much, sir. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, and you.
Denham, news flight 02, please drive about 5 miles to the east of Naval Cross.
Roger, runway 06 left hand, QNH is 1032, and call St Giles.
1032, call St Giles, news flight 02. News flight 02, St Giles.
There's the one ahead of you now, just going over the motorway. Visual, got it.
News flight 02, turning final, normal. News flight 02, hold the hangar.
News flight 02.
And that's it, back safely on the ground again. Now, if you have any questions about aerial filming, or indeed any of the flying that we do, please do leave a comment in the section below and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to look out for our video next week, back on the series of how to be a pilot. Till then, take care.